Hi friends, right, let's talk about imposter syndrome. It happens when a person doubts their abilities and think of themselves as a fraud. So essentially, some people, they might have gone to like a prestigious uni or something like that, and like after they actually went inside the uni, they wonder how did they actually manage to get into the uni. So they would think that there was something wrong with the process of them going inside the uni, and they think of themselves as a fraud essentially, and they doubt their abilities. And study shows that like at least 80% of people in the world has experienced imposter syndrome at least once in their life. And I know there are some young students which experience imposter syndrome where they basically don't even think that they can do well in a specific subject, so they don't even try at all, so they can get away with the fear of failure. And in my opinion, if a child doesn't even try something because that child is worried of failing, that is a very bad thing, because children are meant to be failing. Children are meant to be making mistakes. And I made a lot of videos which talks about why children should be making mistakes and why they should be happy that they're making mistakes and why they shouldn't be perfect at all. Now, I basically have a bit of imposter syndrome when doing YouTube and studying computer science in university. So first I'm just going to talk about why I actually have a bit of imposter syndrome in YouTube. I wonder sometimes like why am I doing YouTube? Because like I don't actually feel that special that I can be able to like talk to a camera and essentially people listen to like the thoughts which I have and stuff like that, because I don't think there's anything unique about it, because I know there's going to be like millions of other YouTubers also doing the same thing. And like my main idea of like making YouTube videos is to like help at least one person, because like I believe like knowledge should be shared. If like that knowledge is true and can help at least one person, it should be shared to other people essentially. And there's this good quote which I've read which basically goes, the impulse to keep to yourself what you have learned is not only shameful, it is destructive. Anything you do not give freely and abundantly becomes lost to you. You open your safe and find ashes. And that quote basically reminds me that any idea which might help someone, like I should give it out freely essentially. But like a lot of my videos which I make, the way I actually think of these ideas for the videos are from like many other YouTubers which I've watched, and like from TED Talks which I've listened to, where I actually put it in the description below, and like from articles and podcasts which I've listened to essentially. So like a lot of my videos, they are definitely not original, but essentially like I have ideas which I pick apart from other people and like I put my own twist inside it. And like sometimes I feel like the stuff which I talk about, they're kind of like common sense in a way, but I know that like it could be common sense for me, but to other people it might be learning something completely new. And you know, like I don't have a degree in like talking about academic related videos, so that kind of like gets me in a way, because like what certifies me to actually be talking to like you guys. But the thing that works for me is that like I don't have to be an expert or anything, but I just have to know the stuff which I basically read and like the stuff which I've experienced by myself. For example, I make videos talking about university because I'm in university, and I feel people should also know like what to expect in university. So like those are stuff which I've experienced firsthand essentially. I'm not an expert or anything, but I believe like you don't have to be an expert to actually talk to other people. And like I think the thing about imposter syndrome is that some people like wonder what makes them unique or like smart so that they are able to like study this degree. But like the thing is that you don't have to be like unique to like learn this new thing or do something essentially. Or even like you don't have to be smart to study medicine or engineering and stuff like that. Like the main thing is that you have the passion for it and like you feel the joy of actually studying that stuff, and I believe like everything else will then come along. So I think anyone can be an expert provided like they have the passion for actually studying that subject. And like I think the thing about imposter syndrome is that people are like stressed to actually like do this degree or like study the subject and stuff like that, because they think they won't be able to like pass the exams or whatever. And like that stress hits them hard and they get demotivated and stuff like that. But the thing about imposter syndrome is that you are meant to be like one step outside of your comfort zone. So in a way, like it's good that you're feeling stressed about doing the subject and stuff like that, because you are basically one step outside of your comfort zone. But like the stress that you're feeling shouldn't be treated as like something bad, but essentially like that stress and like that butterflies in your stomach essentially basically something good. So you should like treat it as something good. Like you should treat that as like your body being ready and like making you energized to actually get ready to like study that topic and like do well in the topic essentially. Like in exam, if I didn't have any stress, I think I would basically have failed all my exams because I wouldn't have studied it at all. Like the only thing motivating me to actually study for the exams is that stress which builds up inside me like right before the exam, and I treat that stress as something good because that is basically my body telling me like, all right, I'm energized, let's start studying. So it should not be like treated as like something bad which is causing you fear and stuff like that, but essentially it should like energize you in a way. And there's a good TED Talk video which I've been recommending in a lot of videos where like when you have stress, because everyone faces stress and that is completely normal. So when you have stress, treat it as like something good and not as something bad essentially. So don't think of that stress actually holding you back, but think of it as that stress as energizing you. Don't make that stress like inflict you thinking that like people will find out that you're a fraud and stuff like that, which is completely false. But think of it as stress which like motivates you to study and stuff like that. But of course there's a balance of everything. So like if you have too much stress, then there's something wrong, because like life is all about balance essentially. And another time where I also feel imposter syndrome is like in computer science. Like in computer science, like there's this people in Instagram which I follow. Like there's this person called For Good Code and another person called Rahul Codes, and I also follow YouTubers like Tech with Tim, and like there's a lot of like people who are doing computer science or like have studied computer science which I follow. And essentially like they're all so smart in their work, and like I actually wonder if I'll actually be like that smart, and they're saying words which I don't understand at all. But like I guess that's the point of learning. Like when you learn something new, you're meant to be dumb when you're learning something new. If you're smart and you're learning it, that means you should be learning something else already because you have mastered your topic. So like whenever you learn something new, you are meant to be dumb essentially, and you are meant to be failing essentially, because like you have your whole life like being good in that topic in the future, but like right now you are meant to be dumb and failing in that topic. And when you're learning something new, that is basically you being one step out of your comfort zone, which is good. I believe we can't always control the amount of stress in our lives. Like we'll always have stress in our lives and stuff like that, which is completely normal. Like I know like you can exercise and you can go out with your friends and that might reduce stress and stuff like that, but essentially like we can't always control the amount of stress in our lives, but we can always change our mindset to the stress that we have. Alright, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.